Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to Brad's Repair. So I know it's been a little bit since I've actually been able to post anything. Been kind of a rough start to the year. Had some personal things going on with family stuff, things like that. So really haven't been able to do much of anything other than take care of family stuff and go to work. But I thought we would maybe try to do a video. I know it's not exactly another car video, but with weather the way it is right now, I'm not able to actually go out and do the things I want to do. I actually have a video intended to try to do a little bit of educational learning, not only for you guys but for myself. It's going to be kind of a trial and error type thing. One thing that happened this year was my wife's car actually got sideswiped on both sides on the rear quarters. One of those hit and run type things. So it's unfortunate. So it comes down to either fix it myself or pay hundreds of dollars to have it done. And so a lot of people on here and through personal friends and all that have seen my car, or my wife's car. They know it has a crap ton of miles on it. It's got like 260,000 miles on it. 260-ish. Yeah, like 260,000 miles on it or something like that. It's a lot of miles, and it's just not worth it to me to put that kind of money into that vehicle. So we're just going to try to do it ourselves. But currently where I'm at right now, here in Kentucky, it's like stupid cold outside. It was up or down to like 7 degrees this morning at like 8 o'clock this morning. I don't know where we're currently sitting at, but it's stupid cold. So unfortunately, I know some of you guys like it. Some of you guys are kind of you're okay with it, but I thought we would do another video, but we're going to do something a little bit different. Usually I talk about tools that apply more or less to general tools that you would use for automotive repairs, and a few specialty tools and things like that. Today I want to talk about a tool that I think can be utilized in a lot of different fields, not only automotive, but a lot of different fields like woodworking, plumbing, house repairs, electrical, customization jobs, just a lot. And the tool I'm talking about is a rotary tool, or more commonly known as a Dremel. We're going to call it a rotary tool. That's actually what it is. It's not a Dremel tool. Dremel is an actual brand. It is not a specific tool. So for the sake of the educational part, we're going to call it a rotary tool. So to start off with, I have two different versions here for you guys. We have a cordless one, and slide it out of the way, and we have a corded one. Each one is going to offer you different abilities to do the exact same job, just in a different way. So other than these two being, one being corded, this one being corded, this one being cordless, a few different options are going to be that you can factor in is the power ratios, or the RPMs that these put out. These will put out two different RPM ratios. Also, this one is constant power. This one will only go as long as your battery is charged and doesn't die on you. Or if you're like me, you have multiple batteries for the same tool. But let me slide this one out of the way, and we'll start with the simplest form that I have right now, which is a cordless. These all come in different shapes, sizes, power ratios, RPMs, things like that. So for like this guy right here, if I turn it over to this side, you'll see we have a power button, and then we have a plus and a minus. The plus and minus are going to be for your RPM ratios. So when I plug a battery into this, I can turn up the RPMs or I can turn down the RPMs. That's going to be its cutting or grinding. It's the revolutions per minute is what RPMs are. And then up here we have this other button. These will always be different depending on, some have a push button like this, other ones have like a little selector flip tab on them to function with. And what this does is it's a chuck lock, so it will only go so far, and then as you spin the front of this, you see it went down a little bit further, so now it's like almost flush in there, where if you get that off of there, it won't go. So then you just turn it till you find that chuck. There's a little divot, and then that allows you to unlock the chuck itself. So that's how you would put a bit on, or whatever accessory you're going to be using. That's what you would do to take it off of the Dremel and reinstall it in the Dremel. Some pros and cons to the cordless. Pros is it's very versatile, it's very portable. Like I said, you can get these in various shapes and sizes, in ways that it's ideal for you to be able to figure out how you want to hold it. Do you want to hold it like this, or do you hold it full palm like this, or like this upside down? So pro is it's very portable, very easy to work with. You don't have to drag out power cords or extension cables or anything like that. You just charge your batteries and take it with you wherever you go. Another pro to, I can't say to all of them, I can at least say for the ones I have experience with, which I have two different cordless ones that I utilize. They do have a built-in safety feature to them. So let's say I crank this all the way up to 25 RPMs on here to its max capability, and I go to cutting something or grinding on something. If the wheel or the bit that I use starts to bind up, it has a safety switch that will shut this down so it doesn't burn up your motor. And that's with both of the cordless ones that I currently have. Those also come with various options. As far as the cordless option, you have two different styles. You have, like this one as an example, I don't currently know where my other one is, that utilizes battery packs, such as this, such as your basic drill or what have you. Most of them utilize some type of battery like this and a battery charger. The other option that I have, which like I said I don't have here, I think one of my friends I loaned it out to a friend or something. Anyway, it has an internal battery. So the way that works is, we'll use this as an example. You'll get the gist of it. So if this was one solid tool, it will have a port somewhere, usually down here, but it basically, we'll just say that if this was it right here, and it just plugs into the side of it, and that's how you would charge it. With these, it's just like everything else. It just continues to just run and run and run until the battery dies. Cons to this: one, batteries. If you don't have multiple batteries, like I didn't for a long time, and you go to use this out in the field somewhere, or out in the workforce and you kill your battery, then you're waiting for another battery to charge. Or if you have the one that has an internal battery, then you're in real trouble. So that would be the biggest con that I can think of for this particular cordless version. Another con is up here. You'll see it has an arrow on it. Maybe I could pick that up. Maybe not. Anyway, some of these have detachable sections here to allow you to attach accessories to it. This one is fixed, so certain accessories I can't use with it. A pro to this, and I'm going to turn this on for just a second, it will get kind of loud. One pro to this one is you see this area right up here around the rotary chuck. It actually lights up, so it gives you a little bit of light for when you're, grinding or cutting or what have you. So that's kind of a plus to this one. So it's really portable, really easy to work with. If you have the battery packed version and you have more than one battery, you could always be charging one while the other, while you're using the other one can be charging. So that I think that's a pretty good option there versus the cordless that is internal battery. And then this option here will basically be the same. If you go to put a tool in this, let's see if I have one as an example. That would be, here we go, let's try this. So this particular piece here fits right in here, but then you might have one that might be too big, it might be too small. See if I have one over here that I can utilize as an example. I like to try to get it as visual as possible. Here we go. I think this will be perfect. So I'm going to tighten this all the way down. You can see the button is locked. I've tightened that down and it's still coming out. That's as tight as you can possibly get it. You can see the center section is super tight. But there is a cure for that. That's a cure-all. They make different size chucks for this. So all you do is hold your lock button down like that. You can unscrew your chuck. Your chuck pops off like that. And then you can buy different chuck sizes, different chuck styles, so then you just get your new chuck. And you can change out your chuck. Also, unlike a regular drill chuck, the difference is these utilize this piece right here, which is called a collet. So to change out to whatever tool you might need, and you can see it's just a hollow piece, they make various size collets with different size ports in the middle, and they make various ones depending on what size you need. Some will utilize for smaller tools, some will utilize for larger tools, or, and I don't think I have one here unfortunately, I do not. They make a collet that's similar to this style here, that has teeth in it, like the teeth on a drill, and it's spring tensioned, so you don't have to change out this or a collet. It's all internal, which I actually do have it. It's just on an attachment, and I don't have the attachment here. But you can check those out. So yeah, you can utilize these with different chucks, different collets, what have you, to make it pretty much universal to whatever accessory that you can think of that you may need. So we'll put this back on, because if not, I'll lose it. So pretty basic, pretty primitive as far as rotary tools go, but this is my go-to for the most part, just because I can transport it around. So something you might ask is, well, what good would this do in the case of automotive? Well, let me give you a few examples. Okay, here's a good example. I had a 2000, so I think it was like a 2006, 2007 Jeep Cherokee. Those have a blend air door for the air condition problem. Like they're all known for it. And to get to, it's a dual blend air door. So if this was it, they would look like this. One shuts off this way, and then when you change your settings, the other one will go like this, or to completely close off like this, or what have you. They were made of plastic, they were crappy, and they would break. And so somebody finally came up with the alternative to make an aluminum shaft for those, and then changed the door stylings of them, and made an improved part. However, to replace these, you had, for the longest time, you only had one option, which was you had to take your entire center console out, take your entire dash out of your vehicle to be able to access these, which was good for mechanics because you made a lot of money because of a lot of hours. You figure $60 an hour, you're going to spend 4 or 5 hours tearing the dash apart, and then you got to replace the part, and then you got to put the dash back together. So you're 8-10 hours in at $60 an hour plus plus parts. That's quite a bit of money. Well, somebody finally figured out that you could cut a little section out underneath the dash that was part of the heater core box area. There was a small area that you could just cut out with whatever you want it to, and then you could access those doors. So instead of 8 or 10 hours of tearing your dash out and hope you get everything back together, you could just cut a small access panel, and then you could, there's a lot of different ways that people got creative with it. When I did mine, I utilized this, but the replacement part that was aluminum was really hard to get. A lot of people were out of them because it was such a common problem. I ended up going to the closest pull apart that is to me, which is in Indiana, or not Indiana, it's in Louisville, Kentucky. And I took this thing with me along with some cutting disc, and I went around to every Jeep that wasn't cut open and was either trying to find one that wasn't broken or one that hadn't already been cut and the part already taken out of. And this is what I used. I took this little guy with me, and like I said, it did have a few issues of once you get binding into the thick plastic and it would shut down, and it was kind of a pain, but at the same time, at least I wasn't burning up the drill itself or the rotary tool itself. It just, safety switch, which is good. Other example that you could think of for automotive, for people who do aftermarket radios in their cars, sometimes you got to modify that center section of where your radio goes into before you can put the new aftermarket stereo bracket in there. You might have to chop up your inside your little trim piece a little bit to make it fit. My other version of this that I have, the one that has the internal battery, I've done it a couple of times for friends, myself, what have you. It's also good for if you say need to do simple tasks, like maybe you have battery corrosion on your battery terminals or what have you. You can hook a little wire wheel to that. It's a lot better than taking a big grinder and an oversized wire wheel and what have you. You can just take this little guy out there and there's just a whole lot of different things that you could utilize a rotary tool for in automotive, but there's also other good uses for it. Another use you could utilize it for in the automotive world is engraving your tools. Like you could put your initials on it, or you could put something on it where you know that that tool is specifically yours and you don't get yours and your buddies mixed up. Another good example is if you got like a little bit of rust or something that you need to grind out or just kind of grind off a little bit. They have sanding discs for these that you can utilize. So quite a few options that you can utilize. Now, with that being said, we can go over to the corded version. Now, pretty much similar in the sense that you still have a lock button to lock your chuck into place so you can exchange bits and what have you. Instead of a digital indicator, most of these will have some type of number setting 1 through usually 6 or 7. On this one, 7 or 6 is the highest max. That's a lot of RPMs. I don't know what you necessarily utilize that for, but yeah. Another difference, other than the fact that you always have power, you'll notice there's a little notch right here with like a little flat spot in it, and then there's also one on this side here. These utilize little springs and little I forgot the name of them now, like flint pieces inside that your motor rotates on, and eventually they wear out. With this, you can replace them. With these, it's internal. Once they go, they're gone. But another thing is too, let me show you this. So we talked about this on the other one. You can take this end piece off right here. It expose some threads there, and then you can get some accessories depending on what you need it for, that will screw on, will thread on there, like this one, which will turn it into different depending on what you got. So like this one for like plunge cuts, things like that, or if you're doing like a piece of wood as an example, you could cut a design into it. Yeah. Or then you have ones like, let me get this guy off of here. I haven't even taken this guy out of the bag. I don't really utilize them that much, but yeah, ones like this right here. Get this threaded on here real fast. A little grinding shield that you can utilize, and you can turn it however you want, so that when you're grinding something or cutting something, you don't have that stuff flying back at you. So that's another good little accessory tool that you can get with these. They also make one that's kind of similar to this, but it's a little bit different, that you utilize for like sharpening axes, or things like larger things like axes, machetes, things like that. They also make accessories that you can utilize for sharpening, chainsaw blades, what have you. It's just a whole entire world. Something else that you can get, I'll just show you guys. I don't want to take it out of the box. It's a lot to get it out of the box. Is one of these, and what it does, this is an adapter that you thread on there, and then it gives you this long extension into this little pin style here, which would be great to utilize for if you're doing engraving or anything like that. It give you like a pin style precision instead of something, trying to do that with this big bulky thing. You're down to almost like a pin size. Accessories. There's an entire world of accessories for it. Like I said, there's chucks, there's collets. If I can get this guy out of here. see if I can pop this open. Some of this I've never even messed with, to be honest with you. It's a little flexible sanding pad. It is basically just a little mini sanding pad, which you would utilize an adapter like this with. It has two little spacers in between it. You unscrew it, you take the one spacer off, you put this in between the two spacers, screw it back on, and then you have like kind of like a flat disc. That'd be great for grinding small surface areas for rust or things like that. They have those in various grits and sizes and what have you. Another option are these grinding pieces here. These come in various sizes. Here's a kind of a medium one. Here's a larger one. And these pads, if you see, there's a screw on the end of each of these with a washer right there. You can actually unscrew these, and that's what it looks like underneath. And it's just a little, the black portion of it is just like a little rubber cylinder. And you can actually change the pads out once you're done with it. And you can get like multi-packs of different various sizes, or one specific size of these for pretty cheap off of like Amazon. Or you can even go to your local store and pick them up. Another good option, especially in doing automotive repair, if you're doing small detailed type stuff, like this, wire wheels. They have these in various sizes, shapes. They have them in the stainless steel finish, and then they also have them in like a brass finish. Pretty sure they make them in some type of aluminum. They also have them in like a felt, so it's almost like the same, like a bristle for like debris cleaning, things like that. They also make small drill bits like you've seen earlier in the video. Here's something I utilize a lot with this. Let's see if I can get this out. It's just like a little cotton pad. You screw it onto here, and then you can use it to polish stuff with. They make various polishing pads like that one there, the thick cotton ones, or felt, or whatever you want to call it. And then they have these like this here that is almost like a shop rag type material, like a cloth. Really good. The first ones I showed you here, they're kind of abrasive, to where this is for like a high mirror shine type thing, depending on what you use, if you use what compound you utilize for it. Something else, here's another style of grinding disc right here. Utilizes that same attachment as the sandpaper does. You can get it like this. Where did I put that guy at? Where did I put the guy? Let me grab it real fast. Let me see. I actually just had it out a second ago. Here it is. It was hidden on me. This is my favorite style for grinding disc, is the larger ones like this. Instead of having to sit there and fight with a tiny screw, there's a part back here. I don't know if you can really pick that up or not. You'll see there's like a little blue section, and then there's a darker section here. You just pull back on that, and then it's spring tensioned. So then you just take it, you spin your disc. Sorry, it's kind of, there you go. And then you can see it's spring actuated, and then there's like a little notch that's specifically set up for this. So then you just pull it back, put it on there, twist it, release, and then you'll notice, if I can get that to pick up, you see the little notches in it. You spin that like that, it'll recess and lock itself in, so now it can't come out. And then they make this version in a thin cutting disc. They make it a thicker cutting disc. They make some for grinding, various options. This is way more expensive than this. However, these hold up a lot better than these do as far as the cutting disc goes. Another option, let's see if I can pull one of these out of here. Oh, and if you're wondering about these little screw bit sections here, if you bought a Dremel, they usually come with a kit. They come with these really nice tools right here. You'll see on the end here for a flat tip, for getting right there to that, being able to loosen or tighten that. They also make the other end for a wrench for the actual drill chucks. You'll notice, like on this one as an example, round it, flat, round it, flat. And that's so that when it's actually on the Dremel, you could take this, put it right there, and you can get a little extra bite on it to tighten it or loosen it. Another good option that they make are these grinding stones. These are a lot of good options. Mostly these are going to be used for cutting, or not cutting, deburring or polishing or sharpening. So if you got like a rough edge on something that you needed to get the roughness or the sharpness off from it, you can use this for deburring. It's also, they say they're good for polishing. I'm not sure what you would polish with these. They make these in various different designs and sizes. So you got like that guy right there, kind of elongated. They got them in a cone style like that. A ball style like that. And then kind of like a reverse cone like this right here. So yeah, that's something else that they utilize. And then something else that I use more often, it's like I use the grinding or the sanding pads more than anything. But then the next thing I utilize the most are these carbide bits. These are diamond carbide bits, and they make these in various designs and shapes and whatever. These are going to be used for they're great for grinding mostly. You can use them for metal, glass, stone, wood, plastics. I also kind of utilize them for engraving. Like I'll take this really like the cone style here, and I'll kind of use it for engraving like my initials on tools or whatever. But yeah, it works really well on metal. These also work really well on metal depending on what you're doing with them. So I don't have a lot of examples with me, but like this is something I recently did on one of my favorite tools, which is pocket knives. I took the backspacer and I made this little almost like stone design on the back of it. I don't know how well that's picking up. You can kind of see it. Yeah, kinda. But yeah, I made that design on the back of it just to kind of play around, have something to kind of do with it. I play with pocket knives a lot. If you know me on a personal level, you know I love my pocket knives. But you can do things like that. You can engrave with them. You can do woodwork with them. You can utilize a lot of different things with it. If you don't have any experience with these at all, if you were gonna say what do I think would be the best option, should I go corded, should I go cordless, I would definitely recommend going with a corded one for your first rotary tool. And the reason I say that is simply because it's always powered. You don't have to worry about running out of power to be able to practice with. You have an infinite amount of power as long as it's plugged in. And like I said, you can usually go to most hardware stores or tool stores like Harbor Freight or Walmart or Menards. Anywhere it sells tools, they usually have a display, and they'll have several different options on the table for you to kind of, as a display to kind of look at and play around with, hold it, see what you feel the most comfortable with. But yeah, I would definitely go corded for my very first one. I used it for a lot of things, and then I was like, man, I really wish I had a cordless one to be able to transport and take places with me, which is where this guy came in, and I don't regret it for sure. And then as a little side tip, this doesn't just apply to this, but this will also apply to anything with a battery as far as like power tools go. So a while back, this was the original battery that came with it, and the problem that I had is after a while I didn't charge it and it was completely dead, and I couldn't get it to take charge again. It would indicate that it was fully charged, and I'd get nothing. And I ended up digging into it a little bit, using multimeters and things like that, which I have a previous video on. If you haven't seen it, go back and check that out. I did a little research and investigating. Well, somebody figured out, and I don't know how well it'll pick it up, but right here there's a minus, and on this side there's a plus. So what I did is I went and I bought a new battery because I thought I needed it, which I did. And what you can do is take your new one that's fully charged, and you can get you a piece of wire or what have you. I just happen to have this laying around near me, and what you could do is take two wires like this. You touch one to from negative to negative, and then touch your positive to positive, and hold it there for about 5 or 10 seconds. And what that does is it will jumpstart your completely dead battery, and more often than not you can revive it, which I took a chance on it, and it actually worked. So now I have 2 batteries again. But yeah, that's rotary tools in a nutshell. If you don't have one or have any experience with one, I would definitely recommend getting one. They're very versatile. There's a lot of different accessories for different purposes. I think everybody should own one, or at least have some type of experience with one. But that's it for now. Hopefully in the future it'll get kind of warmer outside, and we'll be able to go back to actually working on cars, and doing some more automotive related type stuff. I have a lot of video ideas that I want to do. But yeah, as always, if you get any type of good information out of these videos, if it's informal or informational or educational, or you were just maybe wondering about how a tool, looking into getting a tool such as a rotary tool, and you're not sure if it's really something you need or you don't need, or you were wondering how it works, or anything like that, your mom, a best friend, a dad, a brother, anybody, if you know anybody that this would be good for, maybe send them a link or tell them about my channel, so that the channel can continue to grow and I can continue to further educate people. That's what I'm more or less all about on my channel, is hoping that somebody gets something from my videos, that they will learn something that they maybe didn't know about before. So yeah, if you could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button, it's greatly appreciated. Like I said, the more we like, the more we share, the more we subscribe, the more people that we can reach to educate, and that's the point for me. I want to get as much knowledge into the world as possible. But yeah, that's it. Remember, like I said, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.